The tax collector, standing afar off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Hi, it is Thursday, the 26th day of October, 2023, and it's time for the reading of our devotional thought for today, being read from the devotional book Truth for Life, 365 Daily Devotions by pastor and author Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is entitled, He has mercy for you. That's, He has mercy for you. And the verse today, Luke chapter 18, verse 13, which reads, The tax collector, standing afar off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Luke's Gospel, chapter 18, verse 13. Alistair Begg writes, One of our world's greatest tragedies is that churches sometimes permeate falsehoods about God. This happens whenever a person or an institution confuses the gospel of grace with religious routine. Perhaps you've heard before or have been given the impression that what you need to do is to get yourself as fit as you possibly can in order to approach God. That God will not accept you unless you come acceptable to Him, unless you have something good you can show for yourself. Nothing could be further from the truth. All of the fitness that God requires is that you see and confess your need for Him. By our very nature, we do not see our need for God. Instead, we resist Him. Quote, No one seeks for God. No one does good. No, not even one. End of quote. And that's Romans chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. It is therefore a great and glorious experience when suddenly, perhaps taking even ourselves by surprise, we find ourselves saying, you know, this wonderful offer of salvation in Jesus is exactly the thing that I need. To see, to know, to feel, and to experience the depth of our insufficiency, and then begin to see the light of God's mercy is nothing short of a miracle. When God told the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector who came to the temple, He had exactly this sort of humble self-recognition in mind. The Pharisee pleads his righteousness and is proud that he is, quote, not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. Luke chapter 18, verse 11. The tax collector, however, takes an utterly different approach. He has no confidence in himself and no sense that he deserves an audience with a holy God. All he can muster are these precious words, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. And yet it is that man, the tax collector, who Jesus says went home to his home justified, rather than the other. This parable is a wonderful invitation to those of us who know we have messed up in life. It is also a great challenge to those of us who have been Christians for years, for the devil loves to point us to our good works and suggests that we now deserve acceptance from God. As the religious experts, the Pharisees should have known better, but his religious uprightness blinded him to grace. Don't be fooled as he was. In the end, all that you ever bring to God is an empty cup for Him to fill. You are never anything other than a sinner in need of mercy. But you need never be anything other than that, for God loves to be merciful to sinners. Come freely. Come with empty hands. Come without worry. He has mercy for you. The key word here is to come. Come as you are. He will not leave you in that state. He promised He will do above and beyond what you could ask or think. So come today, won't you? Because He has mercy for you. our devotional thought for this 26th day of October 2023. And those of you reading through the Bible in a year, your assignment today, 2 Samuel chapter 3, 4, and 5, as well as 1 Timothy chapter 6. Clive Walsh here. May the Lord richly bless you and give you an incredible day today.